Welcome to Black Belt Beauty Radio. Get ready. It's time to rise. Hey, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Black Belt Beauty Radio. In today's episode, I want to tease out a writing post of mine that I threw up on my IG recently that just got a ton of love and engagement. And so I felt like it would be a great episode just to tease out what I shared and really have this episode be one of those episodes when, you really need some powerful energy. Maybe you're going through something, you're facing a hard time, you got to do something, that's going to be good for you. Like, go give a talk or launch the business or whatever it is, and you need some extra courage and support. Well, this episode is a bite-sized, just you can fucking do it episode from my heart to yours. And I'm going to use my writing to support this process. So let's dive in. I will be reading, obviously. So if you're watching this, I will be reading as well as communicating the message with you. Okay, I'm going to start with the carousel post. And the leading post says, do not be afraid to. Slide number 1, do not be afraid to live from your heart. Caption, do not be afraid to live from your heart. When you live from your heart, you live from your true self. This is where your most magnetic self exists. Your magnetism draws your desires into your life. Be heart-centric. I just love the words heart-centric. I'm a very heart-centric woman. Everything that I create and I, create, whether it's just for me or I'm sharing with the world, is all driven from my heart. If you've seen my writing, you see that I actually will script out heart, lowercase HE, and then capitalize the ART, because I truly believe that all of my art is coming from my heart, right? So, the idea behind this first slide is don't be afraid. And it's not easy. And I know, because again, your authentic self, your truest self is where your heart is, right? So your authentic self is born from your heart, right? So what your heart truly says yes to or wants to say yes to, or what your heart truly says no to or wants to say no to, right? And that's authenticity, like in a nutshell, right? Your authentic self. But when you operate as your most authentic self and you get more comfortable, solely operating from this powerful expression of you, you do become more magnetic and you will summon in the things that you really desire in your life, also things that are designed to support your highest and best in life, right? Because you're living from your true self. So do not be afraid to live from your heart. Okay, number 2 really does flow perfectly from number 1. Do not be afraid to live from your authentic self. Caption. Do not be afraid to express your authentic self. Your authentic self is your highest path in life. It extends to you endless opportunities to expand your highest self-expression. Your highest self-expression is potent alchemy that will architect a life of true fulfillment. So I kind of touched on it, right, just a minute ago, but it really is that, like how do you actually create true fulfillment if you're not operating from your true self? True fulfillment requires a true person to be creating the process, the unfolding, right? So it's not easy because for a lot of reasons, and I talk about it frequently. I'll talk about it forever because it's a core topic in my work. And, it's another reason why I love being able to share things just verbally, speaking to you, but I also love to share my writing because number 1, I am a writer. Number 2, writing is a unique way of expressing, ideas and, subjects and details that can really accentuate, the meaning behind it, right? And so for me, just sharing this, don't be afraid to live from your authentic self piece is really always there inviting you to check in with yourself and ask yourself, am I being authentic in this moment? Am I being authentic in this action that I'm going to take or that I'm taking, But that constant check-in is so crucial because honestly, it's very easy to be, without even realizing it, be swept from your authentic self. Maybe there's an opportunity Like my head shakes, really going to tell you where I'm going right this. Maybe there's an opportunity that, seems to be really good for your business or whatever. But inside you're like, but I don't really feel a connection to the brand or the mission or whatever. Oh, but I'm going to go for it anyways, because, it's going to just expose me this way. And it's going to just check yourself. Like, it's really easy to, and that's just one example, right? There's so many. It's just really easy to, without even realizing it, step out of your authentic self. And, this is another reason number fucking 100,000,001 that I love journaling, because journaling will always bring you home to your authentic self, right? You're having honest conversations with yourself, and you do not need to be a fucking poet or an author. This is just, allowing your consciousness to express itself, and your feelings to come out, your thoughts to come out. And, when you get more comfortable and you create a ritual or practice or habit, however you want to frame it, around journaling, you just get more comfortable being with your authentic self. And when you're more comfortable being with your authentic self, then you're going to get a lot more comfortable standing and operating from your authentic self, standing in your authentic self, right? So that is number 2. Do not be afraid to express your authentic self. Number 3, do not be afraid to trust your intuition. The greatest gift we all come downloaded with is the voice of our intuition. Learn to turn the volume up on its guidance and wisdom and move from its beat. You learn to trust yourself within the process, and self-trust is vital to building a thriving life. Intuition is so important. I believe we all come downloaded with the voice of our intuition. I think it gets really hard to listen to the voice at times. And that's, there's so many reasons behind that. But just to stick to the kind of quick point, just because maybe right now, maybe you're that person and you're hearing it, you're feeling it. Like it's saying, do this, but you're like, I don't know. Because the rational mind is looking at the situation and going, wait, no, like, who am I to launch this business right now? Or am I ready to give this talk? Or can I really move to this city that I've never, paint the picture? I don't know. I don't know what your situation is. I do know that we all have an intuitive voice, and it's always there. And it comes down to, the volume basically. And are we willing to trust and move from it? Now, my life has been trust, move from it. Has that made every aspect of my life easy and fun? And no. It's made a lot of challenges arrive on my path. Every challenge has served me. Every challenge has been fucking essential for me to become the woman that I am today. To be in a position where I can create episodes like this and support you with real wisdom and tactics or strategies, depending on the episode, right? That's because I've always listened to my intuitive self, right? So maybe this is your sign that you need right now to trust your intuition. And here's the thing. It's like a muscle. The more that you flex it, the stronger it gets. So, it's not going to feel easy, especially if it's not your norm. But the more that you do it, the easier it becomes. And then it becomes the most sacred voice. Like I trust my intuition over anybody, anything. It's coming from what I believe is my highest self, And so again, don't expect it to always lead you into, some kind of, like fantastical fucking rainbows and sunshine scenario, or give you the ultimate outcome that you are expecting. No. However, the process, the journey, the outcome, whatever it is that you end up getting as a result of trusting your intuition and moving from its beat will absolutely be vital for your personal evolution and the unfolding of your life. And I believe in the best way. That's just my belief from my own life and observing others who also function from this, MO, trusting their intuition. Number 4, do not be afraid to be misunderstood as you follow your dreams. Oh, that one really for me. There will be many who cannot understand your life desires or how you move towards them. And that's not your problem or your mission to help them understand. Your mission is to be devoted to your heart's calling and to keep digging and going for it, to keep digging to reach it. I can't even tell you how many times in my journey, you're doing what? You're like, what? Like the dots just didn't connect with people like my loved ones or, and so, there's just a lot of times where, the external like just didn't get it, but inside I'm like, I know that I need to do this. I want to do this, whatever it was, move to, a city that I've, never even I've visited once or whatever. Like there's just been a lot of situations in my life, where again, operating on my intuitive self, and then just going intuitive self and my authentic self, like just saying, hey, do this, And so it's developed, not so much anymore actually for a long time now because, now it's like, oh, it makes so much sense. I could see why you did that or, So sometimes like that's just what's going to be the case. And if it's really meaningful to you, whatever it is that you're going for, then that's all that needs to matter. And you got to be strong enough and brave enough to fucking stand in the heat of not being, understood. And that can get really hard, especially if it's coming from your loved ones, family, partners. So I'm not trying to cause a war internally in your life. But if you don't honor yourself, there will be a war inside yourself, period. It just will be. And you'll have to live with that, So this is why I always say there's pain on either side, of choosing your authentic self. And so you got to be brave, you got to be bold, you got to be strong, and you got to stand in it. Whatever it is, your mission, your vision, your goal, if it really fucking matters to you and you go. And it's okay if right now you're misunderstood because you know what? I bet anything, especially if it's something that really, well, whatever. It doesn't need to be like this whole journey that like then reveals something, or maybe it is. It could be a couple of things that you do. And then all of a sudden the picture becomes a lot easier for others to understand. Again, like I said in my caption, it's not your job to help anybody understand, it's your job to stand in your mission, to be in pursuit of your goal and to fucking go for it. So that's number 4. Number 5, do not be afraid to live the life that you truly want to live. Emphasis on you. This is your one life. Do you want to look back and see a life lived that did not belong to you? Your goal, your desires, your vision. Satisfy your hunger by creating the life you truly wish to experience. That's so huge. I mean, it's, one of the greatest studies ever done with, a woman who asked a bunch of individuals that were at the end of their life, like, what's your greatest regret? And the answer was, I didn't live the life that I wanted to live. And it's so easy to do that. And it can seem so altruistic even. Oh, I'm going to dedicate my life to this because, it's whatever, like it seems like a very noble cause or worthy, but it's not what you really want to do. Regret's fucking gnarly. I'll take failure 8 days a week over feeling regret that I didn't, go for the thing, try, whatever. Like the weight of regret is just so, to me, just so much more heavy and gnarly. So don't be afraid to live the life that you truly want to live. And again, everything obviously in this writing post, supports each other, right? Live from your authentic self, trust your intuition. Don't be afraid to be misunderstood as you're creating this life that you truly want to live because it is your one life, right? This is not a dress rehearsal. It's something that I love to remind myself. I love asking myself the question constantly, like, hey, if this was your last week, it sounds morbid, but it's not. It's a constant, healthy reminder to say, like, where's your focus? Are you in the weeds or are you actually getting up every day focused on what you want to really experience and, impress upon your life, this one life that you have, right? So it's just important to realize that you don't get a second shot at this. So make sure that you're fucking really curating what you want to experience in it, period. And never saying it's easy, always saying that you're worth it. The final one, which is a very loving and soft closure to this empowered writing segment that I created. Do not be afraid to believe in yourself. The most powerful substance that creates worlds is self-belief. What you believe you're capable of achieving in life holds more creative and architectural magic than you may realize. The most important thing is that you keep believing in yourself as you continue your way to realizing it. It's so, we hear, it's like one of the most common quotes and statements, like believe in yourself. But honestly, it's not fucking easy to do that all the time. And again, speaking directly to your heart right now, whoever you are, you might be that person who's having a hard fucking time believing in yourself, right? Or believing in maybe, you being able to do a very specific thing that's in front of you right now. And I'm going to say right now with all my heart and so much compassion, I understand that. It's not unhealthy to have moments where you don't believe in yourself. So let's just say that, right? Because what you don't want to feel is like you're fucking defected, okay? No, believing in yourself is, first of all, a life mission that you have to constantly be, staying close to, checking in with, fortifying, investigating and, weeding out anything that could be getting in its way. So you're not defected. If you're having a moment where, your self-esteem is not fully intact, it's okay. However, not where you want to live at all, especially if it's, standing, if you're at the, gates of, some kind of action that you need to take or, walk through that circumstance to get to something that matters to you, to experience something that matters to you. You got to have this talk with yourself. You got to play this episode on loudspeaker. You got to hear me when I say that you are worthy of believing in yourself. Okay, period. Now, I'm not talking specifically about like confidence in a skill, confidence, can you do the thing? You know what? Sometimes, and I did a whole episode on that. It's really a great episode on how 5 power moves to develop more self-confidence. I'll make sure that there's a link in the show notes for you to be able to go back and take that one in because there's a difference. You can, one of the ways that you cultivate self-confidence is by doing the preparation work to be ready for whatever it is that you're going to do. Let's just say it's, giving a talk, right? But sometimes you don't have the time or to prepare, or maybe no matter how much you prepare, you don't feel like you're ready. This is a self-esteem issue now, right? This is not like, oh, am I good enough to do the thing? Now it's like, you got to check in with yourself and go, hey, what's your self-talk like right now? Are you disempowering yourself right now? Or are you encouraging yourself? Because again, going back to what I was saying, like regret is way heavier and it hurts way more than failing, than trying and coming up short, right? So don't be afraid to believe in yourself. And don't think that, it has to be this full-time, always super powerful, potent, robust feeling that you're just moving through your life. Look, I absolutely believe in my fucking self. Like I do. Wouldn't be here right now if that wasn't the truth. Do I have moments where I don't know if I would say it with my self-esteem, but like my confidence in doing something feels shaky 100%. Because I'm always stretching myself. I'm always pushing myself to try new things, important things that matter to me, things that I want to experience in my life that are essential to building everything that I envision for my life. So fuck yeah, I'm going to get, shaky and not always have like concrete like belief, right? But the believing in myself piece is locked and loaded. I'm also in my 4th decade of life, right? Locked and loaded because here's the other piece. Because I've already felt so much fucking hardship in my life and have faced it authentically and thoroughly to where I've witnessed that no matter how hard it was, how scary it was, how much it hurt, I still got back up. And I always got back up stronger and I always got back up fucking better, or got better in the process of getting back up. So that fortified my self-belief. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to try something and fail. And like the final message, do not be afraid to believe in yourself. So that's what I got for you. I hope this high-vibing episode felt like a big hug to your heart, a powerful, you fucking got this hug to your heart, because that's what I wanted it to be. If it did, let me know in the comments. Are you watching this on YouTube? Subscribe if you are. Comment below this video. Let's talk. Let me know what was, a big takeaway for you. If you are listening to it on Spotify or Apple or wherever you're taking in the podcast, thank you. Subscribe there as well. Connect with me on Instagram. Super active there. Love talking to my community. Look at, all kinds of people in my community hitting me up on the DMs. And so DM me, Roxy Look. Share this episode on your story if you think that it could be very supportive to someone else, in general, maybe somebody you don't know, or maybe somebody in your life, right? If you have not already given this podcast a 5-star rating review, please take a quick moment to do it. It means so much to me and my team. That's why every single episode I throw it in here, because it really does make a difference. So there's a very easy link to do it in this, in the episode show notes. Go in there, click 5 stars, write a review, use your voice, connect with us. Truly, I'm here to connect with you guys, right? So thank you in advance to all of you who will take the time to do that. Thank you for taking in this episode and leaving comments, and I will see you, hang with you on the next one. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, you guys. If you loved it, please share it on your social. Throw it up on your Instagram stories and tag me. I'm at Black Belt Beauty. I am also at Roxy Look, ROXYLOOK. I love connecting with you guys. This is a conversation that I want to just continue growing with you guys. So if you feel inspired to hit me up, do so in that space. I always enjoy hearing from you. If you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so by rating it and reviewing it via iTunes. It's such supportive help, you guys. It really helps the visibility of this podcast. So I appreciate and thank you in advance for doing that. And on that note, you guys, I'm signing off with all my love and always looking forward to catching you on the next.